Okay, we are live. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to this writing live. I'm so excited to have Rachel here. Rachel writes. Do you want to
Hello.
introduce yourself? Say hi.
Sure. Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Anna. It's been a long time since I've been live, so I feel like this is such a good re-intro. But
Mm,
I also make writing videos on YouTube. I think the link is in the description of this video, but I'm also
yeah,
just yeah,
should be.
it's just Rachel Writes if you want to check me out. And I have a really exciting video in the works right now, actually. I've been doing it all day, like editing this video like crazy. My sister is actually
Mhm.
in it. I'm a twin. That's something to know about
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, it has something to do with the Bronte sisters. So stay tuned. It'll come out soon.
Ooh, very interesting. Is it kind of like a reading or?
We're gonna basically write like them, like take their writing
Oh my
routine for a few days.
gosh. Oh
So I
my
got
gosh, that's
my
so cool.
yeah, I got my sister to vlog for a bit, which was fun because she's not a YouTuber, unlike me, but
I know, it's like a whole different thing.
yeah,
Wow. Oh, that's so fun. I'm so excited for that video.
I know.
And
I'm
like
very
your
excited.
sister too. Like I think I've seen her in a couple of your videos, but apart from that, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. She used to be in my videos a little bit more, but I'm excited. I might have to get her to join a little bit more because I think it went really well.
That's so exciting. But yeah, so we're gonna start off with some questions. If you guys have any little questions you want us to answer, any like pieces of advice. I feel like Rachel, you give really good advice and like tips. I like love your craft videos, honestly. Like they're really insightful.
I
So
know. The craft videos are always so fun. So if anyone has craft questions,
um,
I would be very happy to answer. I love talking about
yeah,
writing craft. So this is
I know
basically
it's my
just
favorite thing.
yeah, this is Rachel bait.
Writers talking about writing, like iconic.
Right? Yeah, that's like
Um,
the perfect way to reel me in.
but before we get on, Rachel, what is something on your desk, on your writing desk, that you want to share with
Sure.
everybody?
Okay. So I have this picture. I was just talking about my sister.
Oh my gosh,
So I've shown this in a few of my
the wedding.
videos, but I've never really actually shown like a close up. So this is like the first time that we'll see it for more than like 2 seconds. But my
Oh my
sister
god.
drew this wedding photo of my characters. I just finished my book and there was a wedding in the book. And so she drew this for me. And I actually use it to block like the blue light from like the power button on my monitor.
Oh my
But it
gosh.
that means it just like sits on my desk. So this is kind of
Aw,
precious. I always keep it there and it's really cute. Like
that is
I want
so
those
sweet.
flowers. Yeah, so
Wow,
I
she's
kind
so
of
talented.
I know. Well, I'm lucky because she also insists that she knows what my characters look like better than I do. So this is what she came up with.
Oh, so sweet. Ah,
Yeah.
so cool. But yeah, any questions? We'd love to answer. Someone did mention about my hair. I did dye my hair. Kind of crazy. I think this is the first time YouTube seeing my hair. But I don't know why I dyed it. Literally, I think I woke up. I couldn't sleep one night, and I was just like, "Why don't I go blonde?" And the next day, I literally booked the appointment. So I kind of like that. I liked just kind of doing whatever I felt. But yeah.
And I think it was
Um,
successful. It looks really good. You
thank
like
you.
I'm obsessed. You kind of
I
look
like
like
saying
yeah,
yeah.
one day, like Google it after this live,
Oh my
there's
gosh,
this yeah, there's this Hugh Grant movie called Music and Lyrics, and there's a pop star in the Hugh Grant movie,
yeah.
and she
Really?
she kind of had this like blonde hair, and it's kind of giving those vibes. It's giving like 2000s. It's really cute.
Oh my
So I'm a
gosh,
fan.
really? So
Yes.
nice. I'm saying like I'm Legally Blonde now. Legally Blonde is also one of my favorite movies. But I feel like I hope it grows out well. Like it's not too jarring. It's not like I bleached it completely like blonde. So, but thanks. Yeah. So sweet. Okay, let's have a look at some questions. Ooh. And if you see any questions too, Rachel, just give me a little shout.
Sure.
Ooh. This is a question for both of us, I hope, not just me. What is the best writing advice you've gotten that you would recommend to young writers? Ooh. Do you want to go first, Rach?
Sure. Okay. This is such a good question because I know, like, Anna, you started writing really young. I started writing when I was young, so I think we have this experience of like being in the middle of it. I think that the best advice that I got, and that let me just rephrase it into like what I would say to a young writer, because I think I don't ever want to like undermine like the drive and the passion a young writer has to like get better at their craft. I think that was one of my biggest priorities when I was like 12 and just starting out writing. I was like, how do I get better? How do I make my writing better? Everything was about being better. And so I never want to undermine that. So I think if I could tell myself at 12 years old, like what would I tell myself? I would say that there's a balance between wanting to improve and also just having fun, because sort of my instinct now, like I'm much older. I'm 23 now. So
No, you're not.
like some time has passed. My instinct is to see 12-year-old me and be like, just, just enjoy it, have fun. But I think 12-year-old me would be really irritated if that's all that I said to her. So I think it would be just to really like invest in what you're doing, spend time on it if that's what you like to do. But you don't also have to beat yourself up about it. I don't think any young writer needs to worry too much about how good their writing is.
No, yeah, I totally agree with that. It is difficult because you're filled with so much, like you should have potential and you should be writing all of this, and you kind of treat yourself like a full-time writer.
Yeah.
When it's like, girl, you're still learning. I feel like I'm still learning. And I think knowing, yeah, as you said, that it takes time, and, don't beat yourself up about being so, I don't know, either really, really interested in it, like crazy. Because I feel like I was a little bit more chill. Rachel, were you a little bit more obsessed with writing? I feel you were I feel like
I did start out quite like, I hit the ground running. I'll say that.
There's no like gradual, there's just like, let's write this book.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think another thing is maybe reading is really important, especially as a young writer. That's how I really got my love of story writing and got a lot of my ideas. I feel like a lot of the stories we consume kind of lodge into your subconscious and help you subconsciously come up with new ideas that like twist and converge all these different stories, which are your favorite stories. And I think it's also a great way to learn what you like to read and what you like to explore. Like what sort of tropes you like, what genre you like, what sort of characters you're most drawn to, and that will help, decide what you want to write. I think. Yeah. Oh, this is an interesting question, actually. Do you think all stories should have like morals, like some sort of message?
Okay, so I know many people who would disagree with me. So let's just put it out there that maybe I'll disagree with me in the future too. But no, like I don't think that. Okay, maybe it's just the way that I read things. Like I typically just always read things looking for, something that speaks to me, looking for some sort of meaning. But I don't think I would ever put like a responsibility on any type of writing to like do something for me. I just want the writing to do whatever the writer wanted it to do. I know that's like very abstract, but
I love that. That's so like, ooh, of you. I don't know how to describe. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, some things speak for itself. You don't have to think so deeply about and like squeeze out everything to kind of get this message. Where I think stories, like, it's beyond, like, of course, I think naturally any story will have some sort of like value, some sort of theme, some sort of experience, but whether or not it like says anything about it, I don't think it needs to. I feel like, again, yeah, it speaks for itself. It's like looking at a painting. Like it
Exactly.
doesn't need to mean anything like morally, politically, culturally. It can just look beautiful. And
Exactly. I was
that's
gonna say it can just be beautiful, and that's its entire
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I love that. I wonder what everyone else thinks. That's a really interesting question. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Any other questions we have? Um, hmm. There was this question I saw. Oh, we have a question for you, Rachel, though. What genre? I know this is a bit of a switch from your last manuscript you're working on.
Yeah, what am I working on right now? Okay, so I have been writing this like very long series. I have a video explaining it on my channel. It's like how I accidentally wrote like a 10 plus book series or something. But this is like something I've been writing for like over 10 years, and it's morphed in genre over those years. So recently I just finished up the second book in like the fantasy version of these books. Some of the books are young adult, some of them are dystopian, some of them are just like contemporary. They just sort of change as I've changed. So I just finished up that book just a few days ago, which is the sequel, which is it's very long. It's over 200,000 words long. It's the longest thing I've ever written. I don't think I ever want to write a book that long ever again. But I have pivoted since to kind of my roots where I feel the most comfortable is literary fiction. I love it so much. I'm working on a novel that is the same character that is in all of those other books. So that's been very fun. It's kind of like Y2K. It's very pop culture-y. I'm trying to like lean into the humor, not make it too serious. So even though it's literary fiction, I want it to still be kind of light. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've been working on for the last like 3 days.
Oh, wow. I know. Are you going to be working on that today, that means?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. I was writing a little bit by hand right before this stream. So
Whoa.
I'll probably pick up where I
What?
kind of left off. Yeah.
How is it like, how come you made that decision to write by hand? Is that usual
I
or?
Well, I really got into handwriting last year. So the novel that I'm writing right now is like a novelization of a novella that I pretty much fully wrote by hand. Like I didn't really ever finish it. It was just random scenes, but that's sort of what it's turned into now. It's a novel. And so I was like, let me sort of go back to it started
Mm,
as like a handwritten project. Let me go back to the roots. And also I wanted to sit outside because
mm.
it was like sunny. And I was like, I don't want to bring my
Yes,
laptop with me. So,
yeah, it's a whole
um,
different
yeah.
vibe.
I've had
Mm,
to like learn and teach myself how to like handwriting because I'm in
yeah.
love with my computer. I love my keyboard. It's kind of hard to part with it, but
Mhm,
knowing
mhm.
how to handwrite has been helpful. Like in scenarios when I just want to sit outside with my dog and write, and I don't want to bring my computer, then I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. I feel like I want to try something like that. I think I handwrite mostly. I'm sorry if you hear my puppy barking.
You know.
But I usually write when I'm trying to figure out like plot because it helps with my brain to like conceptually, yeah, plot it out on a piece of paper.
Exactly. You've got the mind body connection. Sometimes you could just write a whole bunch of random things down that you
Yeah.
wouldn't type either. So it's kind of
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Um, ooh, talking a little bit about AuthorTube. What are some tips to starting an AuthorTube channel? Hmm, topical.
Yeah. What do you think?
Um, I always give this piece of advice, but I love it because I feel like you should, as a new writer, like share your passion and your stories. I really like talkative videos, and although like it's really nice to have like, you know, some montage, like you writing, it's all pretty, you
Yeah.
lighting a candle. But I really love it when writers just are really open about their projects. They don't, not like they share the plot and everything, but they show like the mood board, they show their process. I think it's really rewarding and kind of great if you show, yeah, like who you are as a writer and not to hide behind a project name or hide behind yeah, never sharing anything about your projects, because that's how people care about your stories and care about you as an author. Because a lot of people start authortube, of course, to like connect with other writers and to document their process, but it's also for their future to like publish a book and hopefully get readers and get people invested. So it's always great to share about your characters, your favorite characters, and the tropes in your story and stuff like that. So don't be too scared to share a little bit of your books.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think because that's something that I love to do. I mean, you know, I yap. I love talking about my books on my channel. I talk about them all the time. And I
Mhm.
love to see other people do it too. And I think
Yeah.
like something that I wish I'd taken advantage of earlier. And I guess part of it is when I started AuthorTube, it was like even smaller. Like it was much smaller than it is now. But um I wish I had like kind of invested more in like the community side of things. Like I started my
Mhm.
channel, you know, I wish I had like commented more on other people's videos and like reached out and like shared their stuff. Cuz now I have friends in the AuthorTube community and that's nice. So like it's
Mhm.
also like seeing familiar names in the comments and like showing your appreciation and
Amazing.
really like leaning into the community side. I would recommend that too
Mhm.
because I mean, then the other advice is just sort of like video making is a long
Yeah,
process. It takes a long time. So just enjoy the parts like the community and like making friends and talking about your work, right?
I know. Like filming is a whole other thing, and like uploading, and like when your editing software crashes. What editing software do you use, Rachel?
I use Premiere. Yeah.
Oh, I used to use Premiere, but it's so expensive.
Yeah. It's kind of evil.
I know. I recommend like DaVinci if you need
Yeah.
a. It's like completely free, and I use it because I honestly feel like Premiere crushes a lot. Does it
Yeah.
crash?
It
Okay.
has its problems. I'm just like I've used it for like 10 years. I really need to
Yeah,
wean off and go
so
to DaVinci.
it's actually quite similar, the interface, because I've been using Premiere Pro for a long time, but DaVinci is quite similar. There are little things you have to like figure out, but yeah, in terms of editing, I recommend DaVinci, and I literally have like these very particular what do you call it? Where it's like in your on your keyboard
The
and they're
keyboard
like little
shortcuts.
shortcuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Of just like, and it's so easy. And like it used to take me so long to edit. Like it would take me like 2 days to like edit a video. Now it can take me, oh, I kind of space it out. How do you edit your videos, Rachel? Let's talk about editing.
Oof, yeah. Oh my gosh. Today has been a crazy day of editing. So what I
Mhm.
do usually is I'll do like a rough cut where I just kind of I'm impossible when it comes to vlogging. Like it's the worst experience watching my footage over because sometimes I'll just like stare
Oh,
into space. Like it's what you don't see like in the videos.
yeah. No, me, literally me.
Yeah, so I have to cut out all of those spaces, cut out all my ums, and sort of like make just this rough cut. And then I'll usually go in and like really nicely edit the intro with like music and sound effects. And then by the time I
Mm,
get to the end, I'm really tired. So I kind of give up.
yeah, so true. It's actually crazy. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna put in so much effort for the intro, and hopefully people just keep staying.
That's what I'm saying. So, and I mean, it's been working so far, but yeah, today's editing process was crazy. I think I was editing for like 8 hours straight. So
Oh my gosh, bestie, what?
I'm
I
excited
feel
for
so
the video
crazy.
though.
I'm excited too. But that's actually something that's so interesting because being an author tuber and a writer, like we spend so much time at our desks.
Yes. Your
And then being
back
a
is not
student
gonna
and
be
working, like
happy. Like
I know. It's like we're like I don't know, man. Like it's we're stuck at our desk forever, I feel.
Yeah,
Editing, writing, whether it be, but at least we like it a little bit, I guess. We must do
exactly.
to stay. Like, I love my room though. Like, I love my desk, and like,
I know,
I feel like
right? I
writers are
think,
introverts, so we don't mind.
yeah, I think having a really lovely desk setup is kind of where it's at.
Just
Then you don't really want to leave, even though you should. I do recommend moving.
yeah. No, yeah, I do recommend like actually setting up every 12 hours. Um,
Exactly.
oh, okay, we have more of a technical question. Do we prefer writing first or third or second if you're feeling spicy?
I have
Hmm.
an answer. Like right away, I have an answer because I have a favorite point of view and tense combo. Third person present tense is where it's at. Okay.
Mm,
Like most
mm,
people will write third person past tense, totally fine. First person present tense. I love all points of view. I write with all of them. They're great. But I think like my signature point of view is third person present because you get sort of like the distance that third person typically provides. You can still
mm,
get really close with third person, but it also has like a quirkiness that
mm.
that first person kind of has. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's my favorite. And I love reading
Gosh, yeah.
anything that's written in that point of view. So
Yeah. I would have to agree. Like, I do like, yeah, past tense. To me, usually I actually write my first drafts in past tense and then end up changing it to like present because I just love the immediacy and it kind of makes a lot more sense. I like the fact that, yeah, the reader's experiencing at the same simultaneous time as the um, main character. But then I do love first person as well. I just don't think I can write or read first person if it's like a series. If it's like more than two books, I don't want to be stuck in the same character's head. Like
get
it's
me
too
out of here.
restrictive.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. But for my current project, I am switching POVs actually. So it's with like kind of two main characters. So it's
Cool.
kind of interesting. So it's in the first person of both. So I have been trying my best to kind of make them very, yeah, central to the character. I think it's a lot more difficult to do that, but when you get to the hang of it, it can be really effective. So I also like first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all points of view are great. I think it's like
Yeah.
finding your
What?
style in all of them. That's when you start to
Yeah.
feel like really good about writing.
I know. It's crazy. Like, I feel like there's so many different things when it comes to writing that's so technical and you can like be the master of. But sometimes I'm just like just trying to get through the plot. I can't even think about the technical. I like had to
Honestly.
think about what tense am I in? Like I didn't even realize. Yeah.
And
But
listen, I'm always saying the best writing process is the one that gets you to write. Like, it doesn't
honestly, yeah.
matter what it looks like, just whatever works, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'm having a look at some other questions. Um, we do have maybe do one more. This one I'd like to know because Rachel and I were talking a little bit about editing, and like whether or not we like editing or drafting more. And I think we both like drafting more, but I feel like you have a lot more experience with editing. So do you want to take this question?
Sure. Okay. So in terms of editing, I'm just gonna move my mic. Okay. Tips for editing. So I have a degree in creative writing, which basically means I have a degree in editing, because that's all I did. So it's something that like I really had to, pick up the pace with, and also
Yeah.
something that I've been doing like since the beginning of time. I'm so lucky I have like a sister who's writing, I'll edit and stuff. So I've had lots of practice. And I think that is the main tip. It's going to be kind of tough, because it can sometimes be hard to find like writing samples that you can edit.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but something that I've found helpful, I have some videos on my channel of like editing my old writing. If you have old writing, like giving a crack at it, like to see if you can,
mm,
edit things. If you're trying to focus on a line edit, really delving into every single minute detail in the words.
Mhm.
I freelance edit, so I also love editing other people's work. So when I'm editing, I go into an edit with two brains. So if I am line editing, which is like editing like the style of the prose on the page, I will have like a magnifying glass out. But if I know that I'm going into a more big picture edit, I will try to look at those bigger picture things rather than getting focused, like hyper focused on teeny tiny
Mm.
details right away.
Mhm.
So trying to
Mhm.
focus on the characters, the
Yeah.
flow, how am I connecting to the story? Does it make sense? I think my biggest thing with writing that I always try to focus on now, even though it's really hard, is
Yeah.
clarity. Clarity
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so difficult, but I think one of the hardest things to sort of pin down in creative writing, because you're thinking it, so it might make sense in your brain, and
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
it might
But
not even make sense in your brain. So
yeah,
you gotta have to
valid.
kind of
Me.
clarify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like that was me writing the end of my book. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But I would like if I was trying to get better at editing, I would go into like a 200 word paragraph, go on like
Mm.
like copy and paste like Cinderella or something, like from like these like free writing that's entered the public domain. See if you can edit it. And what might you change if you're going into the edit thinking about, okay, this is how I want the writing to sound. How would you change it?
Mm.
What word choice would you switch up? Would you change the sentence structure? Things like that. So it's really practice, but it's tough to find those examples. So if you have writing buddies, it's always nice
Yeah.
to swap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So true. Yeah, I feel like editing is a lot of practice because it is a sort of mastery skill that you need to really understand. If I put this in, this gives this effect.
Yes.
And I loved your tip about knowing what, like when you're approaching, knowing how you want it to say, like how you want it to sound and everything. That's important because sometimes I go into editing like for Ghost Side and I'm just like, I'm just trying to make this, I'm just going to edit. But I'm like, what am I editing though? Like what purpose am I serving for this scene? So wow, thank you
Yeah.
for that
It
for
can
those
be a lot
tips.
less overwhelming that way, like if
Hmm.
you have like a smaller goal.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you so much. But I think that's all the questions. It is nearly 1/2 past, so we're gonna get writing. Do we know how many minutes we're gonna go? Do you do pomodoros, Rachel?
Ever so often, I think I typically
Mm-hmm.
do them in like 25-minute chunks, but I'm happy to do whatever.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna share my focus screen. Hopefully everyone can see this. My puppy keeps barking. I don't know if you can hear her.
Just a little.
But just a little.
You can
She's
hear
a
him saying like
big puppy.
hello. Yeah.
She is crazy. Okay, so we got 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Do you have any preference, Rachel?
I'm just seeing I see the most are going for 30 minutes, so I'm happy to do a half
Yeah.
hour.
Okay. Let's change that to 30. We'll do 30. And refresh. Awesome. Okay, so everyone ready? Let's do a really productive writing session. I'm really excited to start writing, so let's go ahead and start.
Yes. See you on the other side.
See ya. Hello. How was
Hello.
the session?
That was so fun. I think
Yeah?
I think I made a little bit more kind of progress from where I was able to kind of like transcribe what I'd written in my notebook, which
Mhm.
is so cute. Like it looks like a
Oh my
book.
gosh,
It's
it
so cute.
does.
Yeah. Anyways, so I was able to transcribe that and then kind of further the plot a little. Still feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. I think the first few pages of writing a novel is like the scariest thing you could ever do, but then it
Yeah,
starts making more sense like when
yeah.
you get further into it. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, I would say.
Oh, that's really good. No, I totally understand. It's so like nerve-wracking and it's so difficult to get over that hump of like starting the first chapter. It's always just like so much energy, I feel, for like no
Yes,
reason.
that's a good way to put it. It's so scary. But honestly, it gets easier the farther I get into it. It's just I need to actually do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's good. Yeah, I did okay. I didn't write too many new words. I was just still going over this last chapter I wrote because something needs to happen. I don't really know how it's going to happen, but I kind of tweaked a little bit and had to backtrack to kind of make the character do something else that was more realistic and more, I don't know, like sounded better and made more sense. And
Sure.
it's actually really cool because now I can use another character's like past experience and get to know this other sub character through this, which is good. It's like kind of crazy where you subconsciously like write like this other character who is now going to be like a part of the next scene. She just randomly runs into my main character
Right.
as she's going to this place, but like they don't really say much. And then I realized, like, oh, it'd be so cool if she actually came along because she's been to the place where she needs to go. And that, yeah, main character is just trying to find some plans for something that the bad guys are going to be doing, which is cool. But did you have any sentence to share, perhaps, with
Yeah.
everyone?
Sure. I picked out I don't even know what this is. I picked out this I picked out this chunk that made the most sense, I think.
Yeah.
So kind of like the concept of this book sort of is that the main character will meet people and then will get like inspired or take ideas, basically steal their
Hmm.
occupation. Like
Hmm.
that's sort of his thing.
So
So
cool.
yeah, I think it's pretty funny. So I have this bit. It's kind of a paragraph. I'll read it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. It was hot for October, the air thick and fragrant like hot fudge. A week ago, Harry had taken a similar walk back to the house with a street magician who went by the moniker the Great Flush. He specialized in backwards card magic, whatever that meant, and Harry figured perhaps he too could specialize in backwards card magic. So the next day, he set himself up in Central Park with a pack of cards he deliberately dropped into a flurrying pile every time a tourist walked by. 9 times out of 10, they pitied him so obnoxiously they gave him $5 just for fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that backwards cards. What I also love that magician's name.
I know.
That's so fun.
I didn't. I just came up with whatever, and I have no idea what that means either. So
I love that. It's so iconic. I feel like and did you write that just now?
yeah. Um.
Wow.
Yeah. I just wrote it. It's tough, like when I don't really know like what direction I'm going, where the scene's going, but it gives me a
Yeah.
ground for 2 pages from now when I do
Mm.
know where I'm going. So
Mhm. No, that sounds really cool. I love that idea.
thank you.
It's also just such a great plot. Like, what? Like, stealing people's occupations? That's so, like, epic. And so, like, ugh,
I think it'll
yeah,
be
I
really
can
fun.
see.
One of my
Mm.
favorite things to write is like hyper specific occupations.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I think that's perfect.
Oh my do you have any others in mind? So we have, like, this magician. Any other occupations you wanna explore?
Hold on.
Or characters?
I had the thing like the little description up and there were a few in it that were kind of funny. There was being like a sales clerk for like an hour, like just like walking into a store. I think there's a guy on TikTok who does that, honestly. And like
Oh,
just
yeah.
pretending you work there. So that was
Yeah.
fun. Like
It's
maybe
so
a face
funny.
painter, like really specific
Mm, mm.
careers.
That's so epic. I love that. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome.
Yeah. What
Um,
about you?
but yeah, because I didn't really write too much. There's only this really short sentence that, I mean, it's okay. Now I've like forgotten where it is. I might just have to do. Um, I don't know. It just says, "Oh my gosh, lady." She's like trying to get comfortable. I'm like,
She's so
what?
cute.
I know, little puppy. She was whining outside. That's why I had to open the door.
Oh,
She
she's
wants
so
to be with
precious.
me.
Oh.
But it just says it was near coming to dusk now, the eerie sun dipping its chin under the horizon. Which I really love that personification of like a sun. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Dipping.
like, dipping its chin. Dude, that's so good.
Really?
I love that. I love that.
Thank
That's great. I don't
you.
think I've ever, like
Personification?
yeah, I've never
Really?
read that, like, kind of comparison before. It's great.
Thank you so much. I don't know. It's so fun just having that sort of prose like just stick out and kind of when like the surrounding sentences are quite normal and but it's also always nice, I think, when you're like drafting something and you kind of yeah, come up with the idea. Just like the idea of the magician that you had, like it's such a joy. And I feel like I want to study that, like how ideas formulate in our mind, like so quickly and so just like boom. Like what?
I know, it's so interesting because I feel like I don't like, I kinda space out when I'm writing. I'm not, like, really
Mm,
present when I'm writing, so I don't really
mm.
think of how my brain is actually thinking of things, so that would be interesting.
It's so epic. Or like even just the idea of dreams and like how that works, like all that sort of mind stuff boggles my mind. Like
Yeah.
it is crazy. Um, but if you guys have any questions, we'll go into some question time just to kind of take a break for our brains and get into another writing session. I also hope you can hear me. This is a new mic that I've got, but it kind of ran out of battery, so I tried to charge it a bit.
Nope, sounds
Is
great.
my mic okay? Okay,
Yeah, sounds
cool.
perfect.
I know because my like mic and like my sound in my videos is actually so diabolical. Like it's so bad that I cringe when I have to edit my video. I filmed, I think it was my editing that with Fiverr, where it's such an echoey room in this like room. I was just like, it's so bad. So I actually bit the bullet and got a little mic. So
I
hopefully
thought
it's
that
picking
video
up.
sounded fine, but this sounds good too.
Really?
This
Thank
sounds
you.
great too. Yeah.
And I feel like you don't really yeah, notice it too much. But
That's
I
true.
think, yeah, I
On the
like this
editing end, you're
audio.
like listening to your voice for like 8
I
hours.
know.
So,
I know. Do you ever get this? I don't know. I've like tried to talk to some other author tubers about this, but when I edit myself sometimes, I like separate from the person on the screen
oh,
where it comes
that's
to a
not
time
me.
where no?
Like like no, I'm saying like I agree. Like when I
Oh,
see
oh,
myself on I'm like that's who is that? Like
yeah, literally. Some things that like that chick says on my screen, I'm like, wait, she kind of has a point. Why don't I just like implement that in my own life? And it's like, I don't know, that's me.
I used
Like
to watch my
what?
old videos like all the time because it was so interesting. I'd be like, "Oh, that was kind of a good point." I'm like, I just like that was my brain
I
2 years ago.
know.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting.
It's
Yeah.
so crazy. And also I wanted to ask, because I just walked lady down the street and I met one of my neighbors. Um, he's always like really, really nice, but he was with his wife and they asked me if I had a job or anything. And I'm now comfortable with telling people that I do YouTube. Like, how do you talk to people? Like, how's your experience been telling people that you do YouTube and you make videos like from your career on YouTube?
I find it kind of challenging. Like, so
Mm.
I actually kept my YouTube channel a secret for, okay, so I started posting in 2016. I only told, like my sister, my twin sister, I only told her
Mhm.
maybe a year later or
Really?
yeah,
How did
or
you
two later.
from your
And,
sister?
and I filmed all the videos in the room we shared. How did I do that? It's crazy.
Actually, wow, that's skill.
Yeah, and then I didn't tell, like, my family until 2020, so that was, like, 4 years.
Mm,
Um,
wow.
so it's pretty crazy, and, like, most of my extended family, I think, just kind of knows through, like, word of mouth, but, like, I'm kinda
Mm.
secretive about it. I don't usually, like,
Aw.
I find it kinda awkward, like, it's not that I even dislike I like my videos, it's just, like, I feel like I'm so
Mm.
myself on my YouTube that I'm like, "I don't know if I
Yep.
want all of you to know that."
No,
Um,
I get
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
um,
it is an interesting, like, thing to do. I don't know, tell people you do YouTube. Some people are, like, very cool about it, like, "Oh my gosh, that's so epic." And other people are like, "How do you make money on that?" I have to, like, tell them. I don't know, because you can make money online now, like, people make it careers, so
this is what
I don't
I'm
understand why people
saying.
are confused.
Yeah, no,
Or
like,
why?
especially if you're doing it kind of, like, as your job,
Yeah,
that's so exciting to me.
it is. It is pretty cool. Yeah, but no, I like YouTube. Do you have, like, a favorite thing about YouTube and I don't know, just, like, having a channel?
Yeah, I think I love seeing sort of, like, the regulars, especially if they've been there for years
Mm.
and years and
Mhm.
years.
Mhm.
Very fun, kind of seeing as everybody sort of changes, you get to know people, even if, like, I don't know them personally, you get used to seeing them.
Yeah, I know, it is really nice having those regular comments, and you can kind of see now, like, if they're, like, I think it's the purple heart, if you've given them a lot of hearts or if they're a new subscriber. It's always such a joy, like, seeing those sorts of things.
I love that.
So, yeah, the community for sure, like, makes it so great.
That's the best
Um,
part.
mhm. But I'm looking at any questions, but if you have any questions that you want us to answer, definitely just comment. Um, Having a look through. I think everyone's really chatting in the chat, like with each other, which is really nice. Um, because I also have like a Discord, so it's kind of nice also hopping on there every so often. Because I mean, I
Yeah,
don't really go on there too often, but it's like a place that I have made for like other writers. So
right.
it's always a joy seeing people, especially like in our comment section, just like hyping each other up. So yeah, it's always nice. Um, hmm. Ooh, by Julia. Do you have any advice on bringing out character personalities, I guess, in your stories? Hmm.
That's a good question.
It is
I
good.
think I just like to give myself time with the character. Like, it's like literally how I view it is getting to know a person because
Hmm.
it sort of comes in the same way as, like, meeting a new friend, getting to know them a little bit more personally. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, like, if I don't know them right away, like, that's fine. Like, I don't do any sort of character building. I know a lot of people do, like, sort of on the back
Mm.
end. You
Yep.
might fill out character sheets or things like that. I just kind of like to write and see what happens, and I usually get a good sense of where they are, but that's worked out for me so far.
Hmm. No, yeah. I think that's so true because sometimes I start a book not really knowing my characters, and by the end, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly who you are. I love you, and like it's sort of that sort of patience that you
Yeah,
need to like understand because it's difficult to understand a character on its own when they're detached from what happens in a story because
yeah,
a lot of who they are is like what happens to them. But I think one of the tips I have is I really enjoy dialogue versus monologue. Um, at least, especially if it's between these two different characters, and you're kind of using them to foil each other. Usually, a lot of my books have two main characters, and one of them's like the main character, and this one's like challenging or giving them a reason to do something, etc. But I really like seeing in my own stories like what a character says versus what they actually think about a situation, because that can tell a lot about the growth of your character, and also just kind of how they think versus how they perceive themselves. That makes sense. I feel like
Oh yeah,
that's
that's great
difficult to.
advice. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
I love
taking
it.
notes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, I love characters. They're like my babies, which obviously it's hard to pick
Yeah.
favorites, but I know you have a favorite. You told
I
me
do,
before the
I
stream.
do. I do have a favorite. It kind of cycles, but
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's been kind of consistent the last few years. And that's what's nice about writing with so few characters. I saw there was like a
Yeah.
question a while ago about like how many characters, like is too many. And I
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's like I feel like it depends on every single book. I think it's whatever the project
Yeah.
calls for, but it's
Yeah.
always so fun to get to know a character. So I feel like if a character is like interesting to you, why not write them, you know?
I know. Like literally. I feel a lot of, but do you also feel that a lot of your characters are different from you or very similar in terms of your personality, the way you think about the world? Are
Yeah,
they like identical, or is that
I
why you
know. When
like
I
them
was
or hate them or?
I know, it's so interesting. When I was younger, I feel like I would say right away, like, no, my characters aren't really anything like me because I probably didn't
Mhm.
really know myself.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
now, like that I'm older, I kind of look at the characters and none of them are me. Like I think that's fine too. Like some people like self-inserts. That's like I've never written one, but
Mm.
I how I see it is like there's always some of me kind of infused in
Yeah,
every
floating in
single one
there.
of them. Like even if
Yeah.
they are quite different, like I feel like in comparison to my characters, like I'm like a hermit. Like they're always talking to each other. I'm like I'm just gonna
Not
stick
couldn't be
to
me.
myself. Yeah. So like
Oh.
we're kind of drastically different, some of us, but
Mm.
I can still see parts of myself in each and every one of them, which I like. The ones that I don't feel as attached
Yeah.
to are probably the ones that I don't see myself or other people that like I
Mm.
really care about reflected as strongly. So it's interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of my characters, at least for my fantasy stories, I mean, obviously they need to be a lot more like motivated, but they're low-key like who I want to be. Like, not I'm not projecting, I'm what's the word? I am I don't know, hoping to be
Yeah,
myself.
it's not like manifesting, like
Yep,
it's
that's it. I'm manifesting
actually I
in a
love
strong
that. I think that's
way.
exactly like that's who I want to be.
Literally, I'm just like, wow, I wish I could do this and like be so strong about my feelings and like confront people. I'm like the most like non-confront non-confrontational confrontational person in the world. So like seeing that, yeah, opposite of my characters is like, damn, I can learn a lot from you.
Right? It's
Um,
very interesting. That's why I like having
yeah.
like friendships with my characters. I like to see it like that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay, let's have another question. Um, hmm. I'll do a couple more. Hmm. Oh, speaking of characters, have you ever regretted something that's happened to a character?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have like a very like I still kind of carry this to this day, but the big long series that I've been writing for a long time, it originally started with 3 books. And then I think I
Mm-hmm.
got older. by the time I was finishing book 3, and I kind of like switched directions, and a whole bunch of things happened to my main character that kind of turned the series around on itself, and then it kind of morphed into something else.
Mm.
To
Mm.
this day, not really like, okay, like that's what needed to happen for me to get where I am today, but sometimes I do wonder what the series would have looked like had I kind of just stayed on the trajectory. So yeah, it's
Mm.
normal to
Mhm.
regret things in writing, but it does
Yeah.
kind of hurt. It does kind of hurt.
It does, because it's like, what would have happened? Like,
Yeah.
would it be completely different? I'd imagine, you know, and your characters would be in different places, and yeah, it's crazy to think about. But I
It
think,
is.
yeah, I have a lot of regrets in terms of like just the suffering I impose on my characters. Um, in one of my books, I will not name because maybe you guys will guess it, but literally the Sunshine character kind of like dies at the end, and it's even worse for the main character because he literally breaks down. Like, it would be better if he died instead. But instead I was like, no, not only will you not have like your best friend, you will also, yeah, like not have anybody.
Oh
So
no.
it was actually crazy. Like, I knew it at the start of the book when I was writing. I don't think I really fully knew the impact it would have on the main character. But it's just really like a hopeless way to end a story. But yeah,
That's heavy. That's
it is crazy. Like, because also the main character, like the second main character who ends up dying, he has like asthma. And the main character, his wife, uh, like, oh, whoa, it's like a whole different thing. His wife, like, Loki burned down like his father's house. So then everyone died, including her.
Ooh, yikes.
But Alex, I'm gonna say his name's Alex. Alexander, he wasn't home, and so he has like his whole family basically dead, and his manor is like crushed to the ground. But Lewis, who's the second character, the story ends where basically there is a huge fire, and in like this orchestra, and Lewis like Lewis goes and saves Alex out of the fire, and he's like left behind and actually like dies. So that's like the
Oh,
second time that the character's like lost somebody in a fire, and the fact that like Lewis had saved him instead of himself, knowing that he, yeah. So yeah, that's
oh
something
my
I guess I
gosh.
regret, but Loki not
Wait.
like.
Wait, that kind of like it's good though, but like, well, I'm so
It's so
invested. Like
good.
me finding out they're like in real time finding out their fate.
It's,
Oh, that
yeah, it's actually crazy. So that was Project Orchestra.
right.
Um, But yeah, it's like a whole thing. But I really do love the characters, and Lewis, like, like even like before, like he's a violinist, and Alexander, he's kind of like involved in like this sort of, not a gang, but someone's after him, and they use Lewis to kind of get to Alex. And there's like this huge like climax where they're playing in front of an orchestra with all these different people, and the gang members find Lewis and literally break his fingers. So he like can't play the violin, but he still ends up playing for Alex at the end of the book, where his like fingers are literally broken, but he's still trying to play this violin because it's
Oh,
like their life work. Because Alex is like a composer. It's like, it's low-key
my
crazy.
heart. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is crazy because I
I
remember
feel so right
you
now.
were like right just at the beginning of writing that, like when I think we
Mm,
had first done some call. That's crazy learning about this. That sounds
oh
great though. Like it
man.
sounds like a good plot. Like I would be invested, but I would like be
Yeah,
crying.
I know. Well, I feel tragic things need to happen. It's kind of like canon. And I feel like when I write things, I'm not sure if this is you, Rachel, but when I write things like become canon and I can't like rewrite it. Like if that's
Oh
how
yeah.
it's how I've written it, that's how it has to be.
Yeah.
So in a way, I feel like at least how I approach writing to begin with, I feel like the books I was writing weren't for me to write, like for me to decide, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I felt like the stories were in me, but I just needed to like write what was already written, if that makes sense.
Right.
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
That's pretty much how I would say writing kind of comes to me. It
Yeah.
has to be pretty
Yeah.
organic, I would say. Hmm.
You can't really switch and do that. Yeah. You okay, puppy? Do you have any pets at your place?
I I do. I have my
You have a
bulldog.
dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
Winston. I know
Yay.
he said hello to you, I think, before on the phone. But that's who I was writing with when I was outside. I just was sitting out there with him, but
Aw, that's
mhm.
so sweet. I love that name too.
He's
So
really sweet.
cute.
It's a very stereotypical bulldog name. His name was not
Oh, really?
originally Winston.
Hey,
His original name was Princeton, but my brother kept calling him Winston like
Princeton.
after we
Mm.
adopted him. So Winston, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, just stuck.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, what
sweet.
a
There's a
cutie.
lady. Yeah, she's so cute.
I can see
But
where
she
she
is
gets
a
her name
sausage.
from. Yeah. She
I
looks
came
like
up with her name actually. I was
yeah,
so proud that my parents were
very
like,
cute.
okay. Like Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
She kind of looks a little bit like Lady, I think.
It's the same ears. They're so cute.
I know. Like I need to brush her low key because it gets so like tangled, and sometimes it gets so matted under that she like gets dreadlocks.
Yeah, that happened to my childhood dog. The best thing
Mm.
I found, not the live stream turning into dog grooming, but like children's hairbrushes, like the little like hairbrushes that have like
Yeah.
the little round
Yeah, yeah,
plastic.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
the way to go. It was
Oh my
comfortable for
gosh.
her. She liked that a lot more than the other kinds of brushes.
I know. There's some harsh hairbrushes, but oh my gosh, I need to go. Stop it. She has stinky breath. Smells like
Oh.
lamb. She loves lamb. But it's funny because I
Oh.
don't like lamb at all, so I don't cook little lamb. Um, but yeah, she's so cute.
She's
But
so
how about we
cute.
do some more writing?
Sure.
If you guys are free for that. Should we just go for another 30 minutes, do you think?
Sure.
I feel like that sounds good. Now let Puppy sleep on me some more. She's a good writing buddy, I feel. Okay, well, let's get started, and I wish you luck, Rach, in a good session.
Yes. See you soon.
Listen. Hello. Oh, gotta
Hello.
stop that. How did your writing go, Rachel?
It went good. I didn't like draft as much. I wasn't so much focused on like, getting like more words out. I kind
Mhm.
of just wanted to like piece together a few things in my head and then also like on the page it was a little disjointed. So I did manage that, which was good.
I know there's so much
Yeah.
organizing that like lots of pretense that comes to before
For
writing.
sure, for sure. Especially when you're starting a book. Like I need to go
Mm,
into Scrivener and kind of like compile all my
mhm.
scenes so I actually know what I already have because I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's always a struggle at the start. Um, I I'm like I think I'm a third way through my novel now, but sometimes I just get stuck in some scenes where like I know what needs to happen, but just the logistics of like showing how it happened. It's like it'd be so easy just to say, okay, these characters got the information. They now know that the enemies will be here.
Right.
But like I have to have like this whole arc, and there's so many things like as you're writing that you realize you can weave in, but just like seeing those opportunities is sometimes really, really hard. And just like, how do they actually get into this like their lair, you know? It's like, how? And I can't be bothered to like come up with I like had to draw like a whole different like thing to figure out what orientation it is. And then I had to look up like the structures of like what the house would look like. And it's just a little bit much sometimes. So,
Yeah.
but
Honestly, writing is a lot of balancing, and it sounds like you're doing a good job
yeah,
because
I'm
genre
trying.
fiction is hard. Like genre fiction is
It
really hard.
is. Yeah, I know you have to like explain things that don't exist anymore. It's like I actually don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of like research. And I feel like I'm honestly not the smartest person in terms of like logic, orientating myself. I'm so bad at directions. Like sometimes I need to pull out the compass app on my phone to know what direction I'm going when I'm taking the bus. It's like so bad. So that also translates to my writing. But yeah. But anyways, let us know how you guys did in the comments. If you guys did some good words. I feel like it's a really good 30 minutes is a good time, I
Yeah.
think. Lady, she's so distracting. Go on.
She's so cute.
Um, I know. She's so spoiled. That's why I'm so scared that she's getting fat because well, not fat, like I only have time to like walk her once a day, and my mum, who's away at the moment, walks her like twice a day. But you know, she can have the extra treat or two. Um,
Oh,
just like we deserve extra treats. But if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll probably end with some questions. I know I start a couple. This one was something I really want to know about you, Rach.
sure.
Because I know you're a big music fanatic and
Yeah.
you love music. So rattle off some of your favorite artists.
This is such a good question. Thank you for
Mm.
asking it because I get to talk about music now. I'm very funny when it comes to music because I only listen to like a selection of artists, but when there's an artist I
Mm.
like, I'll listen to their entire discography.
Mm.
And I
Mhm,
just like
mhm.
doing it that way. I buy all of my music, so I don't stream, so it's like easier for me to
Wow.
kind of like stick to just a
Yeah,
few artists.
yeah.
So there's some artists that I've been listening to for years and years. So like let's say it's like maybe 10. Um so with that said, there are a few that I kind of associate with certain projects when I'm writing.
Mm.
When I was writing like Seventh Virtue and Stillness Ground, when I was in like Reeve's point of view, who's like my female main character,
Mhm, mhm.
she's just like she's daughter, like all the way, like daughter the band. They're great. They have like kind of like ethereal, like folky indie
Mm.
music
That's so
that I
cool.
really enjoy. Yeah. So that's a big one. When I am writing kind of like when I'm writing in the other main character's head in that series, who's Harrison, in the current book I'm writing, he is Harry. I will lean
Mhm.
into um like rock from the 2000s, or one of my
Mm.
favorite artists is Current
Ooh.
Joys. Yeah, I love Current Joys so much.
Mm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
um it's kind of the vibes. I like assign certain artists to certain characters in my head.
Mm.
Um
Mhm.
but it's funny because I'm so early into this current book that I don't really have like a strong like playlist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Not yet.
eventually I'll get one, I'm sure. I'm
Mm.
sure I will. I have a feeling it's gonna be a lot of The Killers,
Oh, The
on that playlist.
Killers. So
Yeah.
then, do you think, because you kind of associate different artists with different characters, does that kind of mean like you would imagine the characters would listen
Yes.
to these artists? Yeah.
Yes, I think so, and I've made, like, a few historically accurate to me playlists.
Wait, yeah, that
Um,
is epic.
yeah, so there's one for Harrison, like, in the canon universe. He would be born
Hmm.
in, like, 1983, so I have, like, some, like, historically accurate timeline playlists for him,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah, what
that's
about
really cool.
you?
I low-key would love to do that. But yeah, most of my series, yeah, sorry, most of my books are like either fantasy where music
Yeah,
and artists like don't exist. But I could do the ghost side, I think. I know Queen, at least, like one of the main ghost boys, Rue, loves Queen, and he just like quotes random lyrics throughout the
I
book.
love that.
I
I love
think it's
that
so
so much.
iconic. He wears like a Queen, like he's like so cringy, like he loves it so much. But I also love listening to music a lot when I write. Um, yeah, in terms of artists, I love Phoebe Bridges.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was
She,
like, Anna's gonna say Phoebe
I would
Bridgers.
marry that woman. She is so epic. And literally all her, I just love listening to her like in any mood whatsoever. So that includes my writing mood, like all the time. I was actually listening to Boy Genius to just kind of motivate me to write, even though it's not even the vibe of the story too much. Um, some music just gets me going. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Um, but I also love Zeros, who I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but yeah, they're really, really cool. Their music is so deep. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of very numbing
Yeah.
to my brain. And I know like all their songs. So whenever I write, usually it works with a lot of my projects. But yeah, they're kind of like the couple artists I really, really like. Um, yeah, mostly when I write, I listen to those artists, but they're my
Nice.
favorite, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh, I love that. Yeah, I think I have heard of Zeros through you. And
oh my
I like
gosh,
the
please.
yeah, I like the sound of their music. I need to delve in. Maybe I'll be buying all their music. I don't know. I don't think I can hear you, Anna. Maybe is that me? Oh, is it you? The microphone. We'll hold.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's my desktop mic. So my mic quality is going down. I was just using this out of the box, so I didn't actually properly, yeah, charge it.
Both
But
sound totally fine.
yeah, and we can work with it. But yeah, Roadkill, I think you'd really like. I like their lyricism. So beautiful.
Ooh. Okay, I'll have to
Um,
check it out. I'll have to check their music out.
Roadkill, series, please listen. So good. That actually a lot of their songs, especially Roadkill, inspired that other fantasy story I was talking to you about. One of the parts in the songs, because I feel like that's how I actually get inspired by new stories now is through songs. Um, do you ever get inspired by particular songs,
Yeah.
like for a whole
I
project?
Oh, for sure. I think like
Mm,
When I find like an album, usually I'll associate that one album with the project. Usually listen to music like
Mm,
chronologically too, because I kind of
yeah,
get used to the sound
yeah,
of like
yeah.
one song coming after the other one. So
Mm,
um
and
it helps, like I think, in building a narrative in the book too when I'm listening to an album, like the full thing chronologically. Then I feel like I'm kind of inside the head of my book when I do that. So that's kind of why I like listening to full
mhm.
albums. That's pretty fun.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really smart. There is also one project that it's called Fine Line by Harry Styles. You probably heard of it. They're like, I'll be a fine line. But I literally listened to that on repeat, like for hours. The same exact song for a particular project.
That is a
Um,
vibe. I love doing that too.
exactly. So literally when I hear that song, like in a supermarket or like on the radio, I'm like,
It just takes you
oh,
back, right? Exactly.
I'm
This is why
like,
I love
yeah.
associating like a song or an album or something with
It's
characters.
so good. It really triggers. I have heard of a writing hack about the candles or a perfume, associating that with a project. Have you ever tried
The
anything, any quirky
perfume.
stuff?
I'm so obsessed with the perfume. Okay, so I think Katie Wismer, who does videos on here too,
Yeah, yeah, she,
she had talked about the perfume, like where you'll associate a fragrance with the
yeah.
book. And so
Huh.
I used to be obsessed with perfumes when I was a kid. Like my sister and I used to collect them. And so we've
So
kind of gotten
good.
back into it again. And so we love like Billie Eilish's fragrances. They smell great. And
Ooh,
so I strongly associate, if I spritz like the first one, like the gold perfume,
mm.
I spritz that one, it will take me back to November 2022 when I was like doing like NaNoWriMo and like writing like fantasy in the middle of the night or whatever.
Crazy.
Because like
Yeah.
smell is so like associated with memories. And so
Mm.
for Sunless Ground, I ended up using like number 3, like the red one that she came out with.
Oh,
And so
cool.
whenever I spray that one, it takes me back again to a very specific time.
That's
So I love
crazy.
it. I don't have enough fragrances to do it, like, and also
With
I'm kind of
every,
picky, but
yeah.
like even if I associate like several projects with one, it just takes me back. Like it really grounds me. I'm like, okay, it's time to write now.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like I can do that too, but like instead of spraying perfume to like go out to like uni or like a date, I'll just spray perfume to like write,
Exactly.
which is
That's
like
what I
creative
do.
me. Like that's
It's an
so fun. I really
occasion.
want to try that. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
do. But perfume is so expensive nowadays. Like I actually want to cry. Like, what do you mean?
That's why it helps to have a twin sister and you'll share the price of the bottle.
Oh my gosh, so true.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have a perfume now. Like I really like Seed, like from Giorgio Armani, the red one.
Ooh.
That's like
Oh,
my
yes.
favorite, but it's like 250 for like, it's like over like 200 for a little bottle. It's
Oof.
crazy.
Oh,
But I want to get it sometime. But I just like can't bring myself to like do that yet. One day I'll do it. I'll just keep
one
using
day.
the little samples again.
Yeah. Yeah, those ones. I know exactly
Yeah.
which one you're talking about too. That's so funny.
I know. Very nice. Okay, well, any other questions, besties? Just let us know and we'll be happy to answer them. There was this funny question that someone asked, which should I, for a laugh, actually give my main ship a happy ending? Do you write happy endings, Rachel?
No. No, I
Mm.
don't. Um, I don't intentionally try not to write a happy ending. Like if a happy ending came to me, like I would write one. Just sadly, they don't. So I just let the ending be what it is, and usually it's kind of upsetting. So
Yeah, I think I'm quite similar. I think with this current project, it was gonna have a pretty tragic ending, but I really don't want it to end that way anymore, which is interesting. Usually I'm kind of like, okay, it needs to end, but it does end the same way. but there's more, which I think helps the ending of the story. So yeah, I feel like a lot of my books end not the best, as I explained with Project Orchestra. But yeah, I think you should give them a go. Especially if it's a love story, I think.
Oh yeah.
It depends. Like, at least for romance, isn't it quite fitting or quite expected that it ends well? Is that like a traditional like publishing like requirement? Yeah.
I would say that there are definitely expectations in traditional
Yeah.
publishing for certain
Yeah.
things, and like even if you watch any like rom-com movie, they all have the exact same structure, and
Yeah.
romance novels are pretty similar in that way too. But I mean, I always like push boundaries and see where those take me.
Yeah.
But if the happy ending is what's coming to you, then that's great. I love happy endings too. They're very nice.
But yeah, I feel like some romances, like take The Notebook, for example, like it's kind of a happy ending, but it's like really sad. I feel like that's the good.
I have not seen or read The Notebook. I feel like that's evil of me because I love Nicholas Sparks. Like
You haven't watched The Notebook?
it's shocking.
Rachel
I know
Wood?
I keep meaning to because I love like all the other Nicholas Sparks like movies.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, some
Ugh,
homework.
I know. Actually, maybe this weekend
That's
it'll be
okay.
fun. It's like
Yeah.
Mother's Day weekend, right? That's like an option.
Yeah. The Notebook. It's iconic. So I'm glad I didn't really spoil it, I hope.
No, I definitely know that it is sad, but I don't really know anything about it, so
Okay. Good.
you're good.
But no, The Notebook is one of my favorite movies. Have you watched the Titanic though? You've watched the Titanic.
I
What?
haven't. Leonardo DiCaprio bothers me, so I don't think I will
No,
watch
I
it.
get that. I actually get that. No, I do get that. Yeah, I don't like watching him too much anymore. There's some films I really like. Like, have you watched What's Eating Gilbert Grape? It has also Johnny Depp in it. It's kind of an older movie. It's so good,
Repeat the
actually.
title?
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh no. I
You
don't
haven't?
oh interesting.
Maybe look it up. Or I can even share here. What? We were talking about in my last stream about movies, so I think this is iconic.
Oh, I love movies. I'm trying to watch 100, so I'm taking notes.
Really, this is a really good movie. I love. It's so nice. But I think he was awarded for his role. So I do like him in this. He's really, really good. But I also love Johnny Depp. He's one of my favorite actors in the world. Have you been watching any movies or like what's?
Oh, I have been such a movie person since last year. So I've watched 30 movies this year so far.
Oh, which is
Yeah,
your favorite?
we're trying to get to 100. I just watched one recently called Lily's Not For Me. And it's an English language film. It's about like it's kind of like a historical film about like conversion therapy. Yeah,
Wow.
but it's like a very stunning movie. And then I'm
Mm.
obsessed with Lewis Hoffman, so I had to watch it.
Mhm.
I'm kind of invested in his entire like filmography. I'm like, I'm gonna watch every single movie of yours, but most of his movies are in
Wow.
German because he's a German speaker.
Mhm.
So it's kind of tough to find them. Now that I've picked up some German from watching like his TV
No
show that
way.
he was
That's
in.
epic.
Yeah, but it's hard to find most of his movies.
Mm. That's iconic. These seem like you have such. It seems like a really cool taste. And like, is this the sort of like?
These are
It seems
definitely
very
kind of like
different.
yeah, like I'll be seated for this kind of movie. This is kind of
Mm-hmm.
like I'm very excited about it. But I love rom-coms. I love Hugh Grant. Oh my gosh.
Really? I don't like
Grant
Hugh.
movies.
Hugh Grant annoys me so much.
That's so funny. I love how we have like Leo DiCaprio like annoys me, Hugh Grant annoys you. That's fine. Like honestly, valid. Like
He just talks the same and just like, oh. Yeah.
it's the
Wait, what's your
hair.
favorite movie with him?
I can't get past the hair.
Notting Hill or?
Well, Notting Hill I love, but I can't stand Julia Roberts. I know people are gonna be like
Yeah.
shocked.
I
It has
do like
nothing.
Julia Roberts in that.
Yeah,
She's so mean.
I know. Like I was like, girl, okay, can you relax?
Yeah.
But my favorite Hugh Grant movie is the one that he did in the 80s called Maurice. That one's my favorite.
Oh.
It's actually kind of similar, like in vibe to Lily's Not For Me. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I have not watched this one. I think I've seen some clips, but he seems like a really good actor in this one because I think a lot of people, yeah, he's like the rom-com.
Oh,
It kind of reminds me of, is it Bradley Cooper? Who has lots of romance, and then you see him. Was Bradley is he the same guy I'm thinking about? Bradley Cooper, who's also in like Interstellar.
was
Have you
Bradley
watched
Cooper in that? I
Interstellar?
don't know. I didn't see it.
You
I just
haven't?
wasn't Bradley Cooper in the Lady Gaga movie?
Wait, no, sorry. I love him. Who's the other guy? He looks so much like this guy. Guys, anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? Interstellar cast. Matthew McConaughey, what am I on?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
this guy.
see.
But he's very rom-com like. Like he's in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But then he's like in Interstellar and all these like different movies now. Where he's a really good
Yeah.
actor. So it's really difficult because sometimes rom-coms are really fun, but acting, I don't know. Like usually people associate, at least I'm a little bit biased with this, but good acting with like drama and like really epic movies when it is so true. Like people like rom-coms are really good. Also really fun. But
yeah, Hugh Grant takes on a whole bunch of like goofy, like terrible man roles.
Yeah.
In the rom-coms.
He's in that new one, isn't he? He's in more of a horror now.
Yeah, I saw the Heretic.
That seems so freaky.
I know, I couldn't watch it. I was like, my mom was like, I love Hugh Grant. Let's go see this movie. And I was like, Mom, I'm not watching that movie.
No horrors. No horrors. No, this is really cool. I mean, the last movie I literally watched is kind of embarrassing. I'm gonna type it up. I hope you obviously know this, I think.
Oh yeah, I know that one. I haven't seen it, but I do know.
Oh, it's so good. Like I was at like a Bible study and I just just blurt out, oh yeah, I love the Croods. I like cried like 3 times. And so many people like stared at me like, why are you crying in this kids movie? But like people don't understand kids movies make me tear up, especially ones about family and like it's a good movie.
That's me with Frozen. I love
Frozen. Oh my gosh. Frozen.
It's like when you have a sister, like Frozen hits different, okay?
Honestly, yeah. I love Frozen so much. What do you think about Frozen 2 though?
I haven't seen Frozen 2, like believe it or not. Years ago I got a Disney Plus subscription specifically to watch Frozen 2 and I never watched it, but we'll probably watch it this weekend cuz yeah, maybe we'll watch it tomorrow. Like precursor to like Mother's Day, we'll do Frozen 2 because it'd be fun. I know Evan Rachel Wood's in that, and I love Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah. No, I love Frozen. I didn't really like Frozen 2 just because the first one's so iconic. But
I think I've heard that from most people. Like the second one isn't nearly as good.
Yeah, but it's like a good shot at a sequel. But yeah, Frozen's so nostalgic for me. Like,
oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, in Frozen? Olaf.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I
because
love that.
my sister and I have been really into like singing all the Frozen songs. So like if you are anywhere near my house at any point when the two of us are like together,
Nice.
it's gonna be Frozen the musical.
I
And
love
so we
that.
love doing like Olaf's part in Summer, the song that he
Yeah.
sings. And then he's like, yeah, then he goes, "Be snowman." And so yeah, my sister was like,
Yeah.
you giggle just like Olaf. I guess when we were watching the movie, I literally like started laughing at
Mm,
the same time, and I guess it sounded the same. So she thinks that I'm kind of like Olaf, which is funny.
I love that. I like Olaf is actually so funny. Like they did the humor really well in this movie.
Yeah, I
I
think
really
I kind of overlooked Olaf when I was like younger, when I first saw Frozen. Now as an adult, I'm like, he's the best.
he's so cute, so funny, and so just like iconic. I totally agree. But yeah. Did you say you've seen the musical though? Like
No, I
or just the
wish.
pilot?
It's just like my sister and I are the musical. Like we
I
it gets
love
so
that.
crazy in my
Yeah.
house. Oh my goodness. But like what I
Love
was
it.
cleaning the bathroom last week and I was like, love's an open door. Like
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. And the betrayal at the end of the movie, like it actually plays on all the different tropes and kind of like Disney, but does it in such a new, refreshing way. You know,
yeah.
true love. And I love Kristoff. Like Kristoff is my dream man.
Oh no,
Like
he is the moment. He's everything you could ever want.
I love him. And like you'll see in like Frozen 2, but he's even cuter. I really love Kristoff actually in Frozen 2, so I won't say anything,
Okay.
but he's super cute.
Okay. I'll okay, well I'm gonna convince everyone to watch it tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Yeah, please do. Ugh, that's such an iconic way to spend Mother's Day. Watch Frozen. So
Yes.
sweet. But yeah, I feel like that's all we have time for. We've been streaming for nearly 2.5 hours. Which is
Wow.
low-key crazy. Does that mean we've been talking for 1.5 hours? Slay.
That's like me on
I
my
saw
live
you like
streams. I
sing
usually
after you had your
Yeah, I usually just talk for like 2 hours and write for like
It's so
15 minutes
fun.
on
I
my live
really
stream.
love lives.
They're
It's
fun.
so fun. But thank you all who were able to come and join, even if you're watching the recording. Thank you. But before we go, Rachel, did you want to tell everyone where they can find you, your channel, and
Sure.
Instagrams?
Yeah. So you can find my channel. Anna has put the link in the
Mhm.
description. But I'm just Rachel Writes on YouTube. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you just tuned in, a new video trying to write like the Bronte sisters with my sister is coming out soon, hopefully by the end of the weekend. So I'm really excited. And then you can also find me on Instagram. I'm posting a little more frequently on there. I'm at
Mm.
Rachel X Writes on Instagram. And then on TikTok, I don't really post as often on there, but it's the same handle at Rachel X Writes. So yeah, you can find me there.
Cool. I love your Instagram. It's so
Thank
iconic.
you. I'm trying to post more often on there because I'm like, I have all these photos. I might as well
Yeah,
post them.
I know it's just hard to like update so frequently. And I also do get into that sort of I forget to post. It's like I take photos, but it's like, Anna, you actually need to post them. Like
Yeah.
people
And I
love
have
to see cameras.
7,000 photos on my phone for no reason.
Oh, I have, I think, even more. So it's two of us. But thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you all in my next video. And thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us for some writing. It was super fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Anna. I love this so much and meeting your audience. Thank you guys so much for your warm welcome.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Okay, we'll say goodbye now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.